Welcome to About You. I'm Connie Hogan. Well, as we kick off the spring season and actually launch into summer, many of us turn our attention to the dreaded task of spring cleaning and refreshing for the summer months ahead. My guest today may be able to offer some great tips as well as advice in this regard, and also at the same time do good for the community. Shana White is the executive director of Picking Up the Pieces Detroit, which strives to help those affected by homelessness who have a physical home, but they need gently used furniture or new furniture and household items, which so many of us have and really are ready to purge. Shana, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. It's a perfect time of the year to be talking about picking up the pieces, because I need somebody to pick up my pieces, right? I think we all do it. It's like you just collect so much stuff.
Yes.
And I think a lot of it is, for most people, I know I am, it's like getting organized.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So talk about your background. We were talking a little, you're from Detroit,
Yes.
but talk about where you went to school and how you got into this. It's so exciting.
Absolutely. So I went through the homeless process back in 2011 with my son. And we went through the homeless process and went into a shelter and came out, and we were fine. We got assistance with our housing, things like that. But going into our home, we still felt like we were still in a shelter, shelter environment, because there were no items in that home. Yes, we had lights and we had gas, but we were still sleeping on the floor with no beds and things like that. So I vowed, okay, well, if I get out of this, right, I'm coming back, and I'm going to make sure that my community knows that there's somebody or another organization out here to help them to not feel like this. It was belittling.
Of course.
It was sad. And then I have a child. And to ensure that he stayed on task, how could I want him to do his homework and achieve and things like that with no desk, with no chair, things like that. So I vowed if I was to get out of this or make it out in some kind of form or fashion, I would come back and help my community.
That's awesome.
So that's what I did, because I didn't, again, there's no resources. There's hardly any resources that go into the stability after homelessness. It says housing, right? The grants, housing. But no stability, no things of that nature. So that's where Picking Up the Pieces came from.
So the grants and stuff like from the state or federal government, they exist. I know there's some resources.
Absolutely.
But people don't think about that, like you were saying.
So but the grants titles are housing.
Right.
And so that's where the shortcoming comes in at, is that housing, but then there's this middle that where's the stability, where's the beds, and then but we expect our children to succeed and focus and be well-minded citizens, things like that. But how?
Right.
Yeah.
So now explain a little bit about how the organization works. So you physically have an office for the organization in Southfield.
Yes. So we have storage space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have storage space, and our program is a referral-based only program. So you do have to go through the homeless process, and that guarantees our intentionality about our goods and services.
Right.
To make sure that we're, doing the right thing by the people who donate, right?
Exactly.
And so a referral-based program, and then what happens is that caseworker reaches out to us. Once they reach out to us, we reach out to the family. And then we do an intake process, measure, greet the children, do the family thing, things like that, talk to the family, see what their likes are, see what their dislikes are. And we go into our warehouse and we get those things or those items. Sometimes we have to purchase items. Sometimes we have to go to our neighbors and get a donation if they have a couch, if they have a dresser, things like that. And then we make a house a home.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're basically then an intermediary between, like you said, the caseworker.
Yes.
And so how do the recipient people, how do they know about you guys? Would they know about that through them?
Yes,
Okay.
so we partner with a lot of other organizations.
Okay.
And and so that's where the case manager says, "Hey, I have a family that needs some assistance with. They just got into their home. They don't have anything. Are you able to assist?" I have filled out the intake form, and then that's when picking up the pieces takes over
Okay. What a
that
great
family.
idea.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So now the caseworkers, they would be like with the state or
Yes.
Wayne County or
Absolutely, absolutely. The Wayne County, Oakland County.
Okay. Okay.
Those are the two counties that we service.
Okay. That was the other question.
And then, so like the homeless caseworkers, like the shelter caseworkers, things like that, they usually have caseworkers assigned to the families,
Okay.
or like a housing program, or some other organization that we partner with.
Now, are you? I know it's Picking Up the Pieces Detroit. Is it part of a larger organization, or is it just this little group?
Just this.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I think there might even be some though that are out there. When I was Googling,
Yes.
that have the same name, maybe in different cities and stuff, but it's not associated with you all.
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's
Absolutely
amazing.
not.
And that's something because it is kind of a cool, name, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we're picking pieces up.
Picking up the pieces.
Picking up
yes.
the pieces, one piece at a time. We're picking up families. We're
That's
picking
right,
up the
yeah.
pieces, making sure that those pieces actually connect. So that way we are creating stability, we're creating hope, we're creating strive. And without one piece and that piece, you can't put those pieces together.
That's right. Now, you're a 501c3.
Yes.
You are. So, and I know that I saw on your list too that you have Amazon and Walmart. Do you still have Walmart?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That you can do your wish list and all
Absolutely.
that. So they actually have their lists on there, or do you just go in and, because they got everything, both of them?
Yes,
so.
they do. And so we have coordinated things that we mostly use for our homes, and we've put those on our wish list: comforters, bed sheets, things that people just take, like
You
trash
do,
cans.
You do, exactly.
It's so many videos on our website that our families say, "Oh, I have a trash can." And so trash bags, light bulbs, things like that.
Well, it's stuff that, because I just moved a couple of years ago, and you
Yes.
don't think about the stuff, but it really is, it's just amazing, the amount of things
Yes.
that you need when you're,
Absolutely.
especially if you, like I had the great idea, I'm just going to have 1-800-JUNK come and get everything, but then they wound up taking all my good stuff. So it's like, which was my own fault.
Yes.
But you just, like I was saying earlier, you have to stay organized. People do.
Absolutely.
And this is a great idea. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And things that you don't necessarily think you might need, just setting those things aside.
Right.
You can reach us on our website or our phone number, things like that. Take pictures of your items. And if
Okay,
those
yeah.
items are sufficient for our homes and what we do, we'll pick those things up.
Oh, they come and pick it up.
We can
especially
pick
with
those up.
furniture. Yeah.
Absolutely. Pick them up. You can drop them off, things like that. And that way we can bless another family. Those families need those things.
Now, do you have your own trucks and stuff?
So not yet.
Okay.
So we're just almost 2 years in. We've
Okay.
done 10 homes.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yes.
That's a lot.
And we don't have a truck yet. We're moving towards that. And
So how do you do it? Then you rent a truck?
yes, we have volunteers.
Oh, you have. Oh.
Yes, so our
okay.
volunteer
Wow.
truck guy, he has this truck, and he comes and picks our things up, and then he delivers them to the family for us on our what we call a Hope Day.
That's amazing. I mean, it's really kind of, you're a great example of grassroots,
Yes.
starting something. And because, the big organizations, because there's a lot of those around that's like, I can't think right now, but like veterans and pick this up. And so like if you're, like I said, I know this because I was moving.
No,
so
absolutely.
you see all of that, and then you see them in my neighborhood. I constantly see these trucks that have, we will pick it up or whatever, not the junk, but the other stuff.
Absolutely.
And so I know the veterans have It's a similar thing to what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
So,
But then with
yeah.
a bigger organization,
They're
sometimes
bigger.
you don't know where your donations go.
Well, you don't. And I think they
And-
probably don't do as much of, like, I'm thinking, like you said before, trash cans. And really, it's almost, and I just thought of this just now,
Yeah.
but like these, estate sales that they have.
Yes.
Do you ever get in maybe with the people who manage the estate sales? And they're always having that stuff left over, like tons of stuff. That's what you need to get in with.
That's what I need to get into. Yes, I
You
need a
do?
connection.
Really?
Yes.
Because
They have so much great things.
they have
that
great things.
Yes.
Great things. And I'm told that a lot that's left over at a certain time, they don't, like even the owners of the home who hired them, they can't get to their stuff once they've consigned that.
Yes.
So they take it to, the great beyond, which
Okay.
would be an organization like you guys.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Isn't that a great idea?
That's a great
So you
idea.
can have my name on it. I'm kidding.
Yes.
But that is a good idea,
Connie
isn't it?
Miss Connie gave me this idea.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right.
Yes.
From Bloomfield TV, right?
Yes.
But there's just so much. There's so much stuff. I mean, it's like I know because I didn't want to have a sale like that because I knew probably 1% of it would sell. It'd be more hassle than it was worth.
Yes.
But I know I go to those sometimes, especially in the nice, where they're really nice stuff.
Absolutely.
And only the top stuff actually sells.
Mm-hmm.
So then they give it to, like I said, those veteran groups, or
Okay.
it could be even, I'm going to say Salvation Army or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. Those are the bigger organizations that
Right.
are most popular. But yes, they probably, and they have a truck and things like that. But picking up the pieces has a truck too. We just,
You just don't have your name on it.
We
yet.
just
You
don't have our name
You don't
on
have
it
the
yet.
branding yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now I know I was looking on your stuff, and you have, just
Yes.
briefly say, we've talked about it, but like your vision for where do you expect to go, I guess, in the
Absolutely. My vision's big.
big as it can get,
As
right?
big as it can
So we
get.
just come up with some new ideas here today,
yes,
right?
yes, we did.
Now we
Miss
got to
Connie.
figure out how to do it. But
Now we have to figure out how to put those things in place. Hopefully your viewers would, come in and say,
Well,
hey,
I'm
those
thinking- there's
estate sales.
this group called Aaron's, because
Okay.
I've met them. They're in Birmingham, and they're really good. They do those estate sales.
Oh,
So you
God.
should call them when you leave tomorrow,
Yes.
next week. Yeah, call them.
I might do that. I'm
Yes.
going to do that.
So your vision, just
So my
describe
vision
it, yeah.
is a warehouse,
Okay.
a stable warehouse. Of course, my truck with picking up the pieces, so that you guys can see that picking up the pieces truck run through
That's
that
right. Your
neighborhood.
marketing is out there, right?
Absolutely. But a warehouse where we can do the interior design, where we can have that layout, so that I'm laying out pieces a little bit more better than I, would do drawing it on a piece of paper of some sort. So a warehouse, and we have so many donations. People want to donate so much.
Really?
We just don't have a lot of places where we can store that as well. And so that would be phenomenal if we could just, get that space so that we can help more families.
So right now, like, say someone is going to
Yes.
do, you have a warehouse, you're renting it? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes, so
you
like
wanna
public
own one.
storage.
Oh, it's public storage.
Yes, so it's public storage. We have
Oh.
2 public storage sheds.
Okay.
But we fill that up within an hour or so. If we have a good,
Right.
a good person that just wants to just bring their whole house to us, we'll take that. But unfortunately, we don't have enough space for, what if we have 2 calls that we want to service, or perhaps more families that we want to service, things like that. So that's my vision, is to help more families. That's the ultimate goal, is to make sure that they have hope on their
Right.
next venture.
Right.
It's not about how big you can get. It's how many families I can help, to
Right.
be honest.
Right. So right now, like if someone was giving, let's say, a bunch of furniture or
Yes.
whatever, you could just go and call public storage.
Yes.
And that's a good idea, though, because then you can just rent it as
Yes.
it comes about.
Yes.
Well, it's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea, but we definitely need our
You
own.
want, oh yeah. You
Yeah, we
do.
definitely need our own storage space, because those it can only accommodate so much. So it's like a 10
Oh, yeah,
by
I
10, 10
know,
by 20,
I
things
know,
like
I've seen
that.
it, yeah.
So
It's expensive, too.
And it's
It's
truly is.
incredibly, that's another, see, we're talking about all this stuff, but that is
Yes.
an incredibly, people don't
That's
realize.
where
I
a
didn't.
lot of our funds go to, our donated funds go to our storage. Unfortunately, it doesn't go to, it does go to our homes and things like that, but the majority of our funds that we raise go to the storage, and why not go to a family?
Right.
Why not be able to buy a new mattress for a
Yeah.
kid or a mom that works 10 or 12 hours a day? Things like that. I would like to put that money towards that.
Now, are you involved at all? This is another idea for you. If you
Yes.
haven't, and you probably have, in the United Way, have you gotten funds from them?
Not
'Cause
yet.
It sounds like it's,
Not yet. I'm hoping. If we have some contacts, then yes. But sometimes you just it's about who you know, Miss Connie.
have you called them or?
I've reached out.
Okay.
So there was just a grant recently that I filled out for. So hopefully we can make that happen as well. But to be honest, it's about who you know.
Oh, well, tell me about it.
It's
Yeah.
about who you know. Like, this vision can go as big as whoever I know.
Right.
You know, I definitely have great dreams and big dreams for this, but you know, it's about networking. It's about building partnerships with corporations. It's about building partnerships with other organizations to collaborate to
Right.
make sure that, you know, again, because it's not about me, it's about the families.
Well, I think this was a great step because I know you had
Yes.
met some people from the community here
Yes.
and, you know, sort of executed that, and that's a great
Absolutely.
step. And,
Absolutely.
you know, we're not a big bureaucracy here at the TV station, but we do
But
have
you're
an
important,
outreach.
though.
We have an outreach.
Absolutely.
And that's the kind of thing. And I know, like you said, with the United Way, a lot of what they do, that's just a whole long story, but your profile of your organization fits their mission and their
Yes.
vision and everything. And
Yes.
I think it would be a great fit.
I think so too. I
It
think
would be
so
a great
too.
fit.
So hopefully they see this and then they want to partner with Picking Up the Pieces to make, you know, create stability for a lot more families. Partnerships.
Well, so I know you had an article done in Channel 2. Was it Channel 62 or
Yes,
CBS?
CBS.
CBS, yeah. So
Yes.
tell us about that.
So
They can go and watch it. Yeah.
yes, CBS has a feature on Picking Up the Pieces, and we were doing a home for a mother who lost her family, her mom and dad, and fell on hard times. She had 3 children.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And we went in and completely redesigned their homes, because what happens is usually almost 95% of the time they have no beds and they're sleeping on 1 air mattress or 2.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And we go in and they have again, the essential items. They have food,
Yeah.
but they have no plates, no silverware.
Wow.
Things like
Wow.
that, because those are essential items. People that doesn't go up under housing though. And so CBS wanted to feature us because of the good work that we're doing in the community. And we went in and completely designed their homes, home with the donated items that we have. They walked in. It was just mind blowing every time. I wait for the children. It's the children for me. It's definitely the parents as well. But they're like, they never expect what we're doing. They never expect it. So it's just a joy. They're like, oh my God, and they run to their beds. All the children, they're like, let me see if I have a bed. And that matters. That's what's important to Picking Up the Pieces and
Oh,
our
yeah.
mission. Because how do you expect a child to do anything?
Right. Well, I mean, you're touching on it.
Yes.
It's like, you know, when I watch the local news at night, it's like it's so eye-opening when you see so many of these stories. And I mean, I get furious about some of them on all sides of it, of the
Yes.
equation. There was one this week about, of course, this wasn't a homeless thing, but the cats that were thrown out the window. Don't get me started on that. But anyway, just the overall issue of why it leads to
Absolutely.
vagrancy or whatever, crime is the big thing, right?
Crime. So if we fill the house, that means that nobody has to go out there and steal.
Right, exactly.
That means that they don't have to catch a felony or a misdemeanor charge. Then guess what? That's a domino effect, because
100%,
then if they catch a case, then that means there are likely no jobs out there for
Right.
them.
And
with
then they won't be able
felonies.
to get anything
And then they
later.
won't get
Right.
be able to get any jobs.
Right.
So that means that they really
The vicious cycle.
the vicious cycle. So what happens?
I know. It's
So
terrible.
let's put things in these families' homes, silverware,
Right. Oh my
easily to
gosh.
fit in your purse, but
Right.
easy crime to commit too.
Right. Exactly.
But why not give them? Why not put that in there so they don't even have to worry about
Wow. It's crazy. Now, do you? This is another idea I just had. So we're talking.
it? Come
It
on, you're
sounds-
full of things. You're full
well,
of
this
things,
was
right?
my field.
Yes.
This is my field.
Yes.
Yes, because I was within this business. I was with GM Foundation, and we were supporting all of this kind of
Yes.
stuff. So I know, like, the good and the bad and the ugly in the nonprofits. As you
Yes.
hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
That it's who you know and everything else.
Absolutely.
And it's wonderful. Detroit is a great city in Southeast Michigan.
Absolutely.
For a variety, diverse community and everything. But it's still a big bureaucracy, especially when you get into like United Way and all of those. I won't say that. But the other one, the big kahuna, is Habitat for Humanity. Do you deal with them at all? Because that's very similar.
It's very similar, and it's very similar. We do, and I would like to partner with them. I would like to partner
Because
with
they got the building and you've got the everything, the interior design.
absolutely. So, but and then I have someone sitting on the board now that is trying to put those pieces together because again, it's about who you know.
It is, and
I
they
can
are a
write-
great name, though. I mean,
Absolutely.
they do great things. I've known, Macomb County and all of them really.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy Carter actually came to Detroit. Now he won't be coming again, but he was
Miss Scotty, you were full.
he was awesome though. Detroit was one
Yes.
of his flagship
Absolutely.
places that he
Absolutely.
was using years ago.
Absolutely, and to be honest, the mission behind, how philanthropy came about.
Right.
Honestly, it's from GM, it's from Ford, it's from the they wanted to put their money into the hospitals and things like that. That's how hospitals became a nonprofit.
Right,
Things like
right,
that.
right.
So, absolutely.
So it's all that big, yeah.
It's about who you
It
know.
is,
It's
it
about who
is.
you know.
But you've been in business now for 2 years. And you
Yes.
said you've done 10 homes, 10 families,
I've blessed
rather.
10 families with a fully furnished home.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Now they already had it though through the caseworkers and all. They had the physical home.
Yes.
And then you furnished.
And they
those.
had absolutely no furniture in them.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So no beds, no couches, no dishes, things like that. I've completely furnished 10 homes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Now is there a time frame? Like say the people that have gone in, how long do they stay? Do they have like a year or is it just on open-ended or?
For the homes?
Yeah, like yes.
So that's not an entity that picking up the pieces.
Oh, I see. I
Yes.
got you.
So we
yeah.
just go in and furnish those
And so
homes.
that's done. Yeah, once
Absolutely.
you give them, I see. Yeah.
Absolutely. But the reason why we only do referral basis is because they have a caseworker to report to. And so that caseworker ensures that they'll stay in that home. And so once they do that whole process.
They would have a time limit if
absolutely.
there was one. I assume there would be.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah. So okay. So talk a little bit about obviously the diversity, equity, and inclusion statement that you would have, because we do have a diverse community, and
Yes.
so just talk a little bit about that.
Any and everybody.
Any and everybody. Okay.
Any and everybody. There are no limitations from veterans to senior citizens to the LGBT community, any and everybody, because stability doesn't have a name on it, and it doesn't have a time limit. It doesn't have an age. Any and everybody.
So the community partners you have now, COTS.
Yes.
Now you're working with COTS. Talk
I
a little bit
am.
about that.
Oh my goodness. So COTS, we have partnered with COTS because again, they have this passport system. And so they do the whole passport where the housing, the resources, the caseworkers, things like that. But once they get past that small entity, picking up the pieces comes in, and we go in and furnish that home.
Okay, 'cause that's a big organization. Yes, I
Absolutely,
saw that, yeah.
but that organization still says housing.
Oh, I see.
Does that
I
make
see.
yeah? So it still kind of has that housing, even though they have extreme. Their CEO, Ms. Cheryl, still
Okay.
have people and systems in place to complete that passport, but you still have to have other organizations to come in, organizational partners to come in and help.
Okay.
So picking up the pieces, we do partner with COTS in regards to once that family gets into the home, we go in and furnish their home as well.
Okay,
Yes.
so we have a couple more minutes. So if there's
Yes.
anything you want to like directly say to our viewers,
Absolutely.
that and if they want to help, if they've seen this and they want to help, give us your little thumbnail of what you want them
Yes.
to take away. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Picking Up the Pieces can be found on all social media platforms at Picking Up Detroit. Also, we are at info@pickingupdetroit.com. Our website is pickingupdetroit.com. We take gently used furniture items. We take
Does that include
monetary.
cat scratches and cats? No. Okay.
No, minor, but
Well,
no.
that's okay. Forget that. Then.
No,
I'm
but we
kidding,
want
yeah.
to make sure that if you were that family,
Right, yeah, I get it.
if
I
you
understand,
wanted
yeah,
that stuff. So I treat people exactly how I want to be
course,
treated
yeah, yeah.
because again I've been in that entity as well, and stability. The things that don't that you don't seem that matter. They matter. Plates, cups, glasses, forks, and spoons. We'll take
Now, with
those.
that, I just thought, would that have to be unopened packages of stuff?
No,
or-
as long
okay.
as they're clean and gently used, we'll take
Okay.
that, wash it and sterilize as well.
Okay,
So,
because
yes.
like with silverware and stuff, it could just as easily be because you can flush it
Absolutely.
anyway, right?
I mean, you go to the restaurant.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and you never know. Okay, so so basically, like even packages of soap and anything like that. right,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, well, we're coming down to just about a minute, so
Yes.
thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank
That
you
is
so much
such
for
a
having
great
me.
organization. I'm just going to flash up the little brochure
you.
here.
Yes.
It's really it's picking up, and the website is actually Picking Up Detroit.
Yes.
Because like I said before, there are other organizations out there that have your name in other cities, because I saw
Yes.
that out there. Shana, thank you again,
Thank
and the
you.
best of luck to you.
Thank you so
and
much
Picking
for
Up the
having me.
Pieces.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for watching today.